Welcome to the week of I don't have any time. Yes, this week I have family visiting, and as a result, I can't spend my normal 20 hours per video, so you will be getting a series of episodes that should hopefully be very quick to produce. But, if I do say so myself, no less entertaining than normal. And we should hopefully be back to your regularly scheduled programming next week. Also, so the Q&A part 2 bombed harder than anything I've ever put out before. It is in fact doing so bad, I am very worried it's going to make YouTube suppress my videos for a little while, so I won't be uploading part 3 here. For the final part, in order to keep the main channel safe from destruction at the hands of the algorithm, I'm going to upload that to the Fraternacons. I'm sorry about that, guys. All the questions I received will be answered, but I can't risk the damage this will do to my main channel. If you want to check out part 3, it will be on the Fraternacons, and I will notify you all here when that happens. I feel like I'm letting you all down this way, but it's just too likely that it will stunt my channel's growth to do it here. Also, your likes and comments will help heal this channel in the eyes of the accursed algorithm. Anyways, you aren't here to listen to me mope about an underperforming video. Let's talk about the new announcements. Let's talk about what a bad day it is to be a Starscream. Seriously, you are just re-releasing the Earthwise Starscream. It never looked right. It was never acceptable in Earthwise, which contrary to popular belief, was not the perfect G1 line. That's what 86 has been going for. The feet are wrong, the chest is wrong, the intakes are wrong, the sculpting is wrong. The wrists don't even match this thing's box art. This was one of the most stylized Earthwise figures that was the least like its G1 counterpart, and they saw fit to just re-release it again in a new line that demands much more from it, but give it opening hands and more accessories, and they called it a leader. Oh, this is bad comedy because this is a joke. You can't be serious with this. Why does Hasbro seem to think that opening and closing hands are such a big selling point? The only thing I want this for is the accessories. They haven't even done anything to fix the damn mono skirt. Look at it, it's just flipped up in its entirety. That is the worst way to do that, and now it's on a finger quotes leader. Nothing about this is going to be accurate enough to fit the Studio series. It is one of the Earthwise figures that looked the least like it was supposed to in both modes. What is with the chair? The chair is not from the G1 movie, so did they just invent this from whole cloth to help justify the price? I mean, it's cool and all, but it's yet another thing that doesn't belong in the 86 line. I'm flabbergasted to see just a flat re-release of a figure from a previous line, and it makes me fully expect that Hasbro is just going to also re-release the Earthwise Prime again for like the 100th time and call it the 86 version as well. I can't believe they thought they'd get away with this. This is so lazy. Speaking of lazy, Scourge. Or is it Scourge? Are you goddamn kidding me? They flipped his hands! He doesn't have two fists, they just mirrored Scourge. So once again, he has a fist and an open hand. Why would they do that? There's now nothing that makes Scourge special in any way. It's just which of his hands is open that matters. They could have done consequential retooling like shaping the thigh so his legs can move more easily, or given him a new gun, but they actually spent more effort on doing something completely pointless. And people are confused as to why this being the same mold as before with different hands bothers me so much when Scourge and the sweeps were always supposed to be identical. And simply, it's because if they were going to do basically nothing, why retool it at all? Why have the sweeps in any way, shape, or form when people could already troop build with the normal Scourge, and have it be the exact same thing? If you are going to retool it and call it something new, then do something of consequence, please! And no, the face not being fully painted does not count because that's just laziness. He even has the exact same blast effects. They could have given him a different one, but it's the exact same one they already did. They could have downscaled this to deluxe size and put it in a 3-pack. They could have given him a shorter beard. They could have and should have done anything more than swapping which fist was open. Let's talk about yet another disappointment. It's Masterpiece Cliffjumper. They are basing it on the MP 2.0 Bumblebee, one of the most widely hated molds of the last several years. Somehow, I'm not mad about this. The mold sure didn't fit Bumblebee, but it might work more for Cliffjumper, and while I didn't want the Bumblebee at all, I might actually get this and experience the mold this way. We will see. I do have to question why the pistol is pegged into the side of the arm like that. Did the leaker not know how guns worked? I tried colorizing it, by the way, and this is probably something like how it will end up looking like when it's finished. I like how they wrote BS on his crotch. It's very fitting for this and the Earthwise Cliffjumper. I don't yet hate what I'm seeing, but it does look like his whole chest will be clear plastic, so that's probably a horrible decision. I reserve the right to call bullshit later, but at this moment, I have at least a small amount of perhaps foolish optimism. But you know what? Maybe this could be okay. Maybe. So real quick, I want to talk about something I have a question I mostly only want answers for myself. Giga Power are re-releasing their sludge Graviter. I know that the recent re-releases that they've done for their Slag and Snarl had new, more accurate robot heads that didn't appear in the official product photography. Is this going to have the same treatment? Okay, next up, let's talk about something you all really want to hear me cover. I swear I've made like 4 of these looking forward videos where at the end several people have pointed out that I didn't talk about the Bumblebee movie Thrust coming to the Studio series. Honestly, I keep forgetting to talk about it because I just can't find it in me to care. It's a green Starscream repaint with Blitzwing's head and he forgot to take the hanger out of his shirt before he put it on. I don't dislike that mold at all, but I'm not exactly excited by the notion of buying more versions of it, let alone this version that's a weird homage to the thrust from Armada, while being almost nothing like him. And what a labored reference it is, considering that guy was more black and gray than he was green, and the green he was more olive drab than this toxic fluorescent neon. Also, can I point out, I watched all of Armada, and I do not remember thrust even a little, like, not at all. When I found out this toy was coming out, and what it was based on, I had to look it up, only to be completely baffled by the fact that I don't even recognize this dude 1%. How have I so thoroughly erased this character from my memories? Let's continue talking about green and gray characters and move on to the robot hero Airwolf. Okay, what the hell is this? This is absolutely the open-and-play big screen with a new, more accurate robot head. Well, more accurate is kind of a misstatement, more like, not terrible. No one's heard hide nor hair of open-and-play since their original Springer came out. I thought the company failed. Is this a knockoff? Is this just open-and-play under a new name? Did someone buy their old designs? I'm so curious as to what happened here. While I don't think the green is as nice here, I do think the head is way better. Hopefully his other issues, like his torso not tabbing in properly, will be fixed, as I bought my brother the open-and-play Springer a while ago, and that's a real issue on that figure. It's really reasonably priced for a third-party masterpiece figure, and I do think this has the potential to pretty easily be the best Springer on the market. The normal one already looks really accurate and only has a few nagging issues, so if this fixes those, it will be perfect, plus the price is just beautiful. From an extreme high, we go to an insane low. Red Starscream. What in the ever-loving fuck? What even is the red line? This is so far off anything. How has the red line completely forgotten the whole reason it exists? Everything is wrong. The head is wrong. The chest is wrong. The feet are wrong. His intakes are both the wrong shape, and they aren't supposed to be filled up by some metal slats. Hell, his guns are mounted in the wrong place. Seriously, you could have put these anywhere on his biceps, and you chose the wrongest place you could have. Oh, you lazy motherfuckers. The guns were mounted in the wrong place because that's where the pin for his elbow joint already goes. You lazy sons of bitches don't even have to design this so it transforms, but you still cheaped out. How? How are you this fucking lazy and incompetent? Does this thing even have a waist swivel? It doesn't look like it. What is so damn hard about giving Starscream a waist swivel that even a non-transforming figure like this looks like it doesn't have one? And the barrels are singed. When have the Null Rays ever had singed barrels? Everything about this is so ugly. Even the knee joints are hideous. Is it just me, or does it look like he was stung in the hands 20 times each by bees? Those are not the blasts the Null Ray shot. And the crown looks like shit. Is his cape made of a cheap plastic tablecloth? How is the red line terrible at literally everything? This has been my question since the beginning of the red line. How are these so bad? So unfathomably terrible? They fail at everything they set out to do. Hasbro, just cut your losses already. This is what I mean by it's a bad day to be a Starscream. The good news is we got Preceptor up in here to save the day for Hasbro. This is looking pretty good, though the 86 line continues with its odd tradition of unsettlingly off faces. This isn't the worst the line has to offer in terms of heads, but it sure doesn't look much like Preceptor. This is looking real nice and real clean. Though I'm noticing that even the renders here, at least I think this is a render, but even here the legs seem crooked. The microscope mode is looking exactly right. I wonder if the scope part will actually work at all. And he can do his tank mode. Would anyone really throw a fit if this didn't come with a tank mode? It's literally the fanniest fan mode since ever. This is not a tank. Box art looks good, if a bit Dreamwave. It's got a much better head on it. I think I'll be very happy to add this to my collection when it comes out. Lastly, let's talk about why it's a good day to be a Starscream. Good to be this one at least. Here we have the Deformation Space Starscream. First off, look at the chest. You know what this one doesn't have? A fake cockpit. Look at how much sleeker the torso is because it's not packing in a whole fake extra cockpit. You know what else? Nose cone's not hanging off the back. Oh, it's possible, and it always has been. This also just looks better than any other version of Starscream, and it looks like it even has a waist swivel, and it's so much cleaner from behind as well. The jet mode looks fantastic too, though at the back of the cockpit here, you do seem to have some obvious signs of the transformation. Everything about this is just better in every way than the Masterpiece, to the extent where it just kind of makes that one completely pointless. How is this so perfect and so much cheaper? I am just beside myself. I have been saying for years, this isn't hard, and here comes a new company with the most knockoff of knockoff names, and we're getting what we should have gotten the first time around. I think I finally found my MP Starscream guys. I can't believe I'm saying this, but after all this time, I think I finally found the one I want. So for the first time in a while, despite all the yelling and ranting, I think the tone of one of these looking forward videos has been mainly positive, because there's a good amount here I'm hopeful for. Really, we got two flavors of Starscream that basically no one is happy about, and a Starscream retool that only appeals to a very small few, plus a Scourge that's just why, and everything else is something that has the potential to be at the very least interesting. The thing that's most questionable is the Cliffjumper being a retool of a very flawed Bumblebee, but that still has potential too. Especially for those of us who only have the 1.0 Bumblebee, because at least this is a new mold. And the 86 Preceptor, Gravitor, Airwolf, and Deformation Space are all things to look forward to, even if the Gravitor might be something that's already been out for a while. And the Deformation Space is like, whoa, this is what we've been waiting for. And that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please, share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.